Because so many of us come into tech transfer from non-traditional pathways and with different backgrounds, it's important to have folks that can help you round out your experience, right, and give you the tools you need to do this. And so when I started, I was very lucky to have some great mentors who were very patient with me and helped me. And so it's an area that I'm pretty passionate about.
Welcome to the Transfer Files, inside the world of federal innovation. This is your insider's look at how federal laboratories bring groundbreaking technologies to market. I'm your host, Andrea Nelson. In every episode, we'll bring you insights and expertise from throughout the world of tech transfer. Today's guest is David Kistin, Senior Manager of Technology and Economic Development at Sandia National Laboratories, part of the Department of Energy's National Nuclear Security Administration. David is also Vice Chair of the Federal Laboratory Consortium's Executive Board. I caught up with David during the 2025 Autumn Annual Meeting, which was held outside D.C. in March. In our conversation, David explains how New Mexico's vibrant innovation landscape, from entrepreneurs and investors to the national labs and universities, all work together to turn ideas into impact. David also talked about the FLC's mentorship program, why he helped launch it, and what makes mentorship such a powerful tool for shaping the future of tech transfer. Please enjoy my conversation with David Kistin. So tell me about what you do in your role at Sandia.
Yeah, so I am part of the Integrated Partnerships organization at Sandia, and this is broadly all of our tech transfer and agreements teams. And my focus is on economic development. So really looking at how we leverage all the innovation and IP at the labs for New Mexico.
Beautiful. And part of that is the Sandia Science and Technology Park. Is that correct?
That is correct.
So tell me more about that and the idea behind having this physical ecosystem.
Yeah, the Sandia Science and Tech Park just celebrated its 25th year. And so this is a tech park that's right adjacent to Sandia National Laboratories in Albuquerque. It's a master plan community. There's a lot of different landowners and landlords and stakeholders. But essentially, it's a place where tech companies come to co-locate with the labs. It's a great tech transfer mechanism. So we have one of our anchor tenants is a group called Rocket Labs, which spun out of Sandia. And initially, their main focus was on solar panels for satellites. And it's great. So a group of Sandians left, started this company, and they wanted to do it right next to the labs so they could keep working, with all the folks inside. And yeah, it's been a really great story.
And just from a national perspective, New Mexico isn't the first place that the general public may think of when they think of innovation ecosystem. I hope you don't mind me saying that.
Oh, sure.
So what are the assets and the resources specific to that area that really make it a fertile ground?
Yeah, so the labs go back about 75 years in New Mexico, and both Sandia and Los Alamos National Lab have a long history in national security, and we really started as part of the Manhattan Project. And so that core mission really, is kind of at the heart of what we do, but the labs have grown over the last 75 years. So now, our work expands and we have a real big focus on nuclear deterrence, but we also work in a lot of other areas. We are a multi-mission lab, which means that we work across all parts of DOE, and we do a lot of work with DOD and other partners. New Mexico is an amazing place where we have some incredible universities, a lot of great researchers, and yeah, it's an ideal place to have both these labs.
Are there areas of technology or innovation that that Sandia and Los Alamos work on that most people probably wouldn't guess?
Yeah, so it's really broad. I mean, some of the things that we do together that are unique, and especially with regards to tech transfer, we have some programs that we run with the state of New Mexico where we can provide no-cost technical assistance to businesses who are just facing some kind of technical challenge. And so, this can be very focused on things like solar panels and optimizing energy systems, but we've worked with folks across a huge, breadth of different technology areas. So we've worked with ranchers and breweries and, everything kind of in between. It's been really great, but this is a program that It's jointly run through the two labs. It's an amazing resource. So it's called NMSBA. And we have another program that is also available to companies called Trigger, which helps companies that have a technology and they just need to mature it. And so need some technical assistance to really get it into the marketplace. And so we work with companies through CRADAs and, licensees to really just help overcome, that valley of death. It's amazing.
Is there a particular success that has been your favorite to be part of?
I mean, it's hard to pick, right? They're all my favorites.
Of course.
Something that we've been working on a lot lately is building a quantum ecosystem in New Mexico. So there's an effort called Quantum New Mexico, and it involves companies and universities and lab researchers, and it is amazing. So really, it's all the stakeholders in the state from the, technical community coming together to really plant a flag and just say, New Mexico is a quantum state. And, it's been amazing. So this work goes back decades in our universities and in our labs. But, for the first time, I think there's really a coordinated effort to create a hub around it. So I would say right now, that is one that is very exciting.
That's fair. That's a good answer. And you come from, not that there's a traditional pathway to tech transfer, there is none, but you come from an even less traditional. So tell me how you got into this line of work.
Yeah, so I really got here through economic development and working with communities around the state and in the region. And I was very fortunate to collaborate with the labs on a couple projects and see what Sandia in particular was doing outside of just the fundamental R&D. And, it was amazing. So just to see the impact that the labs have, around the state. And so when I came to Sandia, it was working on a program connecting businesses into some of our energy security work. And I, haven't left since. It was amazing. But yeah, it is, I think, just great. I mean, everyone comes from such different backgrounds. I worked with startups and with, community development groups. And I think having, that background has been, really helpful in my day job.
So you've also been a big lead on the FLC's mentorship program. So tell me about the intention behind that, the goals and the overview.
Yeah, I would say, because so many of us come into tech transfer from non-traditional pathways and with different backgrounds, it's important to have folks that can help you round out your experience, right? And give you the tools you need to do this. And so when I started, I was very lucky to have some great mentors who were very patient with me and helped me. And so it's an area that I'm pretty passionate about. But the idea is, really, I think for people to self-identify areas where they're strong and would like to, work with others, and then also where you could use some help. So, there are creative specialists who do this day in and day out. And within FLC, there's a lot of variation across the agencies and the labs, but a lot of the core skills that you need for that work, are consistent, and, there's a solid through line. So being able to leverage this very talented community is a great opportunity. And, we have just amazing members, right, who have stepped up and just shown a lot of interest in this, right? And it seems like it's a great program.
Have there been any challenges, surprises during this first year, which was the pilot program that's wrapping up, that will kind of shift some things going into this second cohort?
Yeah. I mean, I think one of a nice surprise, in my own experience. So I'm working with someone who's been helping me really think through how we launch new programs, right? And how do we get support broadly, across our organization and across the agency. And it has been huge for me. And this is, a big part of my day job, but just getting perspective from someone working with DoD, and I'm at a DOE lab, has really helped me kind of shift the way I'm approaching some things and actually bringing in other partners from other agencies. So I think something to think about as we move forward is, how do we make sure that, we're capturing some of the success stories from this, and also that the skills are not necessarily related to what we consider traditional tech transfer, so licensing, CRADAs, agreements, that sort of thing. But a little, we keep the aperture broad to make sure that, we are, I think, getting, as much interest as possible and providing some value.
And is this mentees Is it pretty limited to sort of early career tech transfer professionals, or does it kind of span?
It's for everybody. Mentorship is for everybody. Yeah.
Okay. And whether or not listeners do end up being part of the program, is there just general advice that you would give people who are getting?
Yeah, I would say, we have amazing members and amazing folks. So if there is something that you're interested in, and maybe, full on program is not really in the cards right now, I'd say just, feel free to reach out if there's questions that you have, or you just want to build your network. This is a really great on-ramp with FLC. So if you just want to meet other people in your field at different agencies or different labs in your agency, this can be used for that too.
Excellent. Anything else you would like to leave us with?
No, this is great. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much. Thanks again to David for sharing his time and knowledge, and thank you for listening and spreading the word about this podcast. Subscribe and listen to more episodes on YouTube, Apple, Spotify, or your favorite podcast platform. Check the show notes or the episode page at federallabs.org for links to resources and information that came up in our conversation. And thanks to our producer and digital marketing manager, Carly Dunow, graphics manager, Danny Batchelor, web content and systems manager, Jess Klein, and the FLC staff and community for your support. We'll see you back in 2 weeks on Transfer Files Tuesday. Thanks for tuning in to the Transfer Files, your insider's look at federal tech transfer. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay connected for more episodes exploring how hundreds of government laboratories and countless industry partners are driving innovations that shape our lives.